Hey Internet, Eric here. Well, I am going to do an Is It Worth the Hate video for you guys today. And what that is, I haven't done one of these in a very long time, is I take a film where it's panned by critics, panned by movie fans, YouTubers, whatever, however you want to say it, in one way or another. You know, box office bomb, people saying don't go see it, whatever, the usual stuff. And I finally sit down, watch it, and see if it's really, truly worth the hate, or if it's just a bunch of YouTubers just, flapping their gums and saying it's stupid just because, for some reason YouTubers think that, rant videos are great. So if you follow me on Twitter, you know I'm good friends with Knight from the Night Watch Zone, and and once a month we get together, me, him, and a handful of others, and we're called Knight and we are called Knight and the Deadly Venoms. Monthly stream where we just bullshit, play games, talk movies, usual stuff. And in our last one, I'll put the link in the description below, they had me watch and review tonight's subject, and to see if it was really worth the hate, if it was bad as it was, because I'd never seen it before. And I figured, you know what, why not make a video out of, that content in here as well. And I've already reviewed the first two films in the series. So you can see what I said in Knight's video, like I said in their reactions. But here, I'm going to discuss Creepshow III. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot, spoilers, specific scenes, all that stuff. This was not theatrically released, so I could not find out if it was a bomb or not. But the only research I was able to find is that, I got detailed files, as Terminator would said. The only thing I was able to find just to say how bad it supposedly was Rotten Tomatoes. Critics gave it a 0%, audiences gave it a 10%, and on IMDb it has a 3.1 out of 10. Now normally I don't take notes. I took notes for the live stream, and I think the last time I ever took notes was when I first started YouTube, and I did the Star Wars Holiday Special, because I had a lot to say there. I've got a lot to say with Creepshow 3. So it is like the other films. It is an anthology film. This one has 5 different stories that kind of connect. Well, oh God, I'm just going to read this, not necessarily verbatim, because you can kind of already tell what I think of the film. It starts off with some like really cheap ass like animation, like I don't know if it's what was it called, like MS Paint or something like that. Like this came out, like I said, 2006, and it's really bad. We're following some, I don't know if it's a homeless person or whatever. He's pulling like a Red Rider, or not Red Rider. What is it? Radio Flyer, like wagon or whatever. And he does something. I think he kills a dog. And he sets up a hot dog stand. And it's, like I said, it's really bad animation. And what makes it even more bad is it's complete with like goofy sound effects, like he's making the dog into hot dogs. There's like a missing dog sign on a tree, and he's got a hot dog stand, 2 and 2 together, and literally he's you squirting the mustard on the hot dog and it's going, that type of stuff, and there's bells and whistles and the usual stupid sound effects. So then we go to story number 1, which okay, we're following probably the brattiest daughter that you've ever met. She's always complaining about everything. She hates her family, with good reason. We'll find out. She hates her town. She hates her neighbors, all this stuff. And she walks into her house, and let's see here. She's got a younger brother who's watching TV and playing video games. Younger brother who looks like he's 30 years old. She looks like she's only 18. And he's making fun. Like, these are deplorable people. He's making fun of her, calling her fat. Grandma says, Grandma's awful. Grandma insults her. What does Grandma say? Grandma says the girl's too skinny and she won't get a man because she has no ass. She literally says, an ass is more important than tits. Tits are for amateurs. This is Grandma, okay? So there's good reason why she hates her family. Dad has got a universal remote that he bought from some peddler. And what does he do? He hits the button and the family disappears. And the family is replaced by a black family. But they're all the same type of character. You have the younger brother who looks like he's 30, insulting her. You got bitchy-ass grandma. You got stupid dad. but they're all a black family. Then it happens again, and they're now a Spanish family for some reason because this is funny. All right. After that, let's see what happens. Spanish family. And then, for some reason, the girl just starts melting. Okay? And I'm talking like her skin starts melting, and the effects look pretty decent. Kind of, for like a no budget. I think I found out this was like maybe a $3 million budget. Sucks. So let's see here. She starts melting, and then she walks into the house of the local professor, of course. And apparently the professor is getting married. Keep that in mind. And she just helps herself to the wine and the birthday cake and all this and that. Let's see here. There's a package delivered. And then she gets the package and she... What? Oh, God. Okay, she gets the package. And then, she suddenly zapped back to her family. And then she starts melting even more. And she kind of looks like a really low-budget version of, like... what's-his-face in RoboCop where the toxic waste hits him and he's, help me, that type of guy. So she's super melting. And then what do we have? She meets the professor. He just shows up, and as she's melting, he's telling her this is how she truly is. So I get it. She's melting and disgusting because she's a disgusting person on the inside. Yeah, it's not that hard to figure out. Then he takes the remote, and he takes the remote, and he hits a button, and Dad comes out to shoot. I think he's going to shoot the professor. Yeah, he's got a gun. He's ready to shoot the professor to find out what's going on. Alice has magically turned into a rabbit. Yeah. And then for some reason, the family doesn't remember Alice. That's it. The end. Takes the rabbit and walks away. Professor. All right, story 2. We meet a bumbling security officer who I say is not Zach Galifianakis, and he's getting, he's in this horrible apartment complex, and he's getting picked on by like the stereotypical pimp, like black guy, beret, dollar, like little gold dollar sign chain, calling women, bitch, get out here, I need my money. That usual shit. I mean, I'm surprised if it was the 70s, he'd fucking have like a boa and all that shit on. So his life sucks, blah, blah, blah. He meets Eva, who's a hooker. She makes passes at him. He passes by some homeless people. One of the homeless guys has the universal remote. And then there's stereotypical crazy homeless people yelling and screaming and, that type of stupid shit. He buys a radio. Let's see, he comes back and his apartment is full of nothing but Jack Daniels and like arrogant bastard ale. Points for that. I do enjoy that stuff. And then he's going to destroy the radio because it doesn't work. And then suddenly the radio starts talking to him and having a conversation with him. It knows his name. Let's do this. Let's do that. The whole bullshit. He's not scared. It's just another day in the office. Hey, my radio's talking to me. So let's see here. He doesn't question it. He literally offers her a sandwich as he's making himself one. Let's see here. Eventually, the radio convinces, Galifianakis to go to, like, this attic area in the apartment complex because there's a lot of money there. And you find out that the money belonged to the pimp. So he goes in there, breaks in, let's see here, takes the money. Some thief tries to break in. Zach kills him. And, let's see here, kidnaps a girl. Kills her, makes it look like a murder-suicide. Okay, yeah, so someone was going to try to rob Zach Galifianakis, and he killed him, make it look like a murder-suicide. Whatever. Stupid, doesn't make sense. So, I'm just going to call him Zach. It's easier. Starts moving out, and Eva the hooker sees it. And she tells him that the money is the pimp's from like an armored car robbery. So she decides to join the group. The radio is telling Zach, kill her. And then the radio is getting jealous of Ava because the radio is being made to ride in the back seat. So they pull over because Ava has to use the bathroom. Zach gets out, starts destroying the radio. He gets shot in the head. You find out he's shot in the head by the hooker. She's going to take his money. She's shot by the pimp who has his own magical talking radio. The end. Bored yet? I sure was. Story 3. Oh, okay. God, this is the weird fucking one. Okay, this one's about a hooker named Rachel. And she leaves one of her John's room. She's got a knife. She gets a call from some dude, and then crazy homeless lady, one of the homeless people that we saw earlier, is following Rachel. She's quoting biblical stuff. Rachel stabs her, walks away. Let's see here. Glove compartment. She's full of knives. You find out there's a report of this hooker who is killing random people so far. They call her the call girl killer, and she's killed 10 people already. Let's see here. She gets a call from some college kid. Goes meets him at the house, walks in, bumps into 2 guys down the street. They have a conversation. Meet them later. She walks in, meets the kid, and she notices that there's no pictures of the kid in any, or no, the kid is not in any of the pictures of the family, in the house. They go to the bedroom to get ready to fuck, and as they walk away, the camera pans and shows that the family that's living here has already been murdered, and they're like hanging from the walls. So obviously the kid is a murderer too. So this will be interesting, right? Okay. She handcuffs him to the bed, blindfolds him. She's gonna fuck him, and then what she does is she stabs him to death. And while she stabs him to death, she has an orgasm. She showers, and then as she's getting out and drying herself off, she hears someone whispering her name. It ends up being the guy. I guess he's a vampire, but he looks like, I don't know if it's an homage to Fluffy the Beast from the Crate in part 1, because he's got like a fucking barracuda face, but it looks like Spirit of Halloween. I'm gonna like put the thumbnail of what he looks like is gonna be this video, and he looks horrible. He kills her, and then he hangs her next to the family and drives away. Story 4. Okay, we're meeting the professor, the one who turned what's-her-tits into a rabbit. He's getting married. We remember that. This takes place at the same time as the call girl killer, because the 2 guys she was talking to outside before she got killed by Barracuda Boy they're meeting the professor. They're like the professor's prize students. Let's see here. We meet the fiance, and she's very bubbly, like a Barbie doll. Basically, he's in his 60s. She's very young, pretty, ditzy blonde. Okay. The students assume that she's a robot he created because she doesn't eat or drink. He's always been interested in robotics, creating life, blah blah blah. So what they do is they knock her out, and they think they're gonna pull a trick on their professor because he is known for playing tricks on them. He has a lot of fun playing pranks. So they take a power drill and they try to take her apart, type of thing. And they don't stop when they realize blood and guts are coming, like red blood, intestines, all this and that. They just like, oh, it's really realistic. It gets slapsticky and stupid. Like they're literally pulling arms off and legs, and there's blood everywhere. The whole like linoleum is red. As dumb as it sounds, you find out. You find out she was really a Russian mail-order bride. I don't fucking remember how they found out. I don't care. And she had amnesia for somehow. The guys, they play a game of hide the body parts. They hide her head in the oven. He comes, they escape. The professor finds her head in the oven, screams. And I scream internally. Now, finally, story 5. The last fucking story of this fucking movie. Can you tell, is it worth the hate yet? Spoilers, surprise, surprise. All right, this is the movie this is the story that kind of made me very interested in watching this film initially for the Deadly Venoms, because all I knew is it was about a cursed hot dog. Now, when I was on the Graveyard Shift podcast, Mike used to call me a connoisseur of crap. Knight knows that I love stupid movies like Leprechaun or the Ginger Dead Man sequels, Jack Frost, that type of stuff. So, hey, a movie about a killer cursed hot dog, it could be so bad it's good. I love Sharknado. That shit's stupid. All right, so we're following some asshole doing asshole things. He butts in line for a hot dog at the vendor. The vendor ends up being, a little cartoon guy from the beginning, with the mustard and stuff like that. So he cuts in line for a hot dog. He buys it, drops it on the ground, gives it to, I guess, one of the bums. He was one of the bums that was just screaming in the middle of nowhere. When we met the guy, the initial bums, like with the radio. So he cuts in line, gets another hot dog, and then the bum starts choking to death on the hot dog. Okay, and then that's it. So asshole goes to work at the free clinic, and I guess it's for community service because he doesn't want to fucking be there. And he's such an asshole. Like, he's picking on an old lady because she's going blind. There's a montage of him helping people, and he's popping pills while he's doing it. And all he's doing is, like, he's making racist jokes. He's saying, well, I'm sorry, honey, I can't cure ugly. You know, he's a real piece of shit. Like, he's already unlikable. So we're waiting. He's one of those guys that, since it's done in a comedic way, like, it's not awful, like, cringeworthy, because we know we're following this fucker, and he's going to get his comeuppance. He's not like Trent from Friday the 13th remake. You know, he's, like, offensively annoying and offensively horrible, and it takes too long for him to die. Anyways, so he's doing all that bad stuff, and then he sees the ghost of the bum, and that's it. Runs away. We see the peddler. You know, he's still handing out, selling radios, and you find out the professor shows up, and he's the one that made the radios. What do you fucking do? So the professor made the radios. The guy runs into Barracuda Boy. He gives him drugs, and he asks for new faces. I don't know what that means. He finds Rachel's. This is where Barracuda Boy finds the card for the call girl. Stupid. All right. Then he goes to have a party at Barracuda Boy's house, and lights turn off, and you find out that they're all Barracuda ghosts, vampire fluffies. I don't know what the fuck they're called. Sees the bum's ghost there, runs away. The ghost, what is it? Sees the bum's ghost at a party, who then pukes up the hot dog. Jesus Christ. Guess turns into fluffies, like I said. All right. Then he goes, next day, tells the girl she's got a brain tumor. He doesn't give a shit. Sees the ghosts. Go home, makes himself a sandwich, and, like, we watch him make an entire fucking sandwich. And then the homeless ghost shows up. He stabs the ghost, runs away. He's running down an alley. All right, I remember this part. He's running down an alley. He falls down. The ghost offers him the hot dog, and I think the ghost tells him thank you. And then the man immediately dies. Paramedics show up. The ambulance drivers get hot dogs, and the old bum, the one who sold, like, the radio and the remote control, he yells, "Hey, they'll kill you." I die inside. Then there's an epilogue. The professor is getting married. He marries the bride. She's wrapped up like a mummy, or she kind of looks like what's her face from Hellraiser 2 when she's got no skin. The family shows up from part 1. Mom says Alice looks... What was it? Mom says Alice would look good like that on her wedding day. The family thinks she's crazy because there is no Alice. Hot dog vendor. Then we go to the hot dog vendor, and he melts in, like, super bad CGI, and I wish I was dead. So, is Creepshow 3 worth the hate? Now, like I said, I like a lot of stupid shit. This was... It wasn't just... It's not like it was, like, painful. Because some good could come out of this. I had a fun time describing it to the Deadly Venoms. But this was crap. I hated this movie. It was awful. Now, is it the worst thing I've ever reviewed for this channel? That's pushing it. Shark Exorcist is right neck and neck with this piece of shit. Shark Exorcist was actually painful to watch. This was just really fucking stupid. Is it worth the hate? Absolutely. This movie, avoid it at all costs, unless you like crap. And I'll say that. I don't like ranting in videos, because I think ranters are just, you know, everyone sees rant, and they're like, let's see what this guy has to say. I don't like doing that. But this movie, like, made me mad watching it. All right, it was boring. It was poorly written, poorly acted. Again, I like Sharknado. Who cares? But, like, this was, like, offensively bad, like, painfully bad. A waste of time. Not fun in almost any way. Let's just say this. I didn't pay any money for it, and I still feel ripped off. So, let's see if we can do this. Punch this up. Is Creepshow 3, look, It's so fucking bad. The picture fucks up. Anyways, I'm not going to fix it. Is Creepshow 3 worth the hate? Yes, it is. Creepshow 1, so good. Creepshow 2, fun. Creepshow 3, ew. Now, there's a reason why a lot of people say that Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, is the official Creepshow 3, or unofficial Creepshow 3, I would say. Yeah. I don't want to talk about this anymore, but I figured, you know what? Let's get some content out because I don't know the next time we're doing the podcast or any of this shit. Anyways, like and subscribe. That's it. Comment below. Strange Monkey, this is all your fault. Knight, you're guilty by association. Boy, I got some bad movie reviews coming for you, buddies. Both of you. Cheers. Now my phone won't even stop because Creepshow 3's that bad.